Ahoy, it's Michelle here. I'm here today with the lovely Ben. He's one of my colleagues at Rock the Boat.
Hey there. Thanks for having me. So today we're talking all about what you need to know before going on a Disney cruise, which I just recently did myself. So, as someone who's been through it all, I'm really excited to share my experience and advice with our listeners.
Well, let's not keep him waiting. What was the number one thing you wish you knew before boarding your cruise?
If I could give anyone out there a piece of advice, it would definitely be to plan ahead. I didn't realize how much there was to do on board a Disney cruise, from the shows, meals, activities for kids, and even meeting the characters.
Traveling with Disney Cruise Line can be an incredible experience, but it pays to be prepared. As a newbie traveler, you're probably unaware that booking and securing activities fill up fast, in some cases minutes after they go on sale. This is especially true for things like dining options, special events, and popular shore excursions. To maximize your chances of getting the activities you want, it's important to understand the cutoff dates for when you can start booking. So, as a first-time cruise guest, this might be 70 days before sailing day. With a bit of planning and knowledge of the booking deadline, you'll have plenty of time to ensure that your trip is unforgettable.
That's great advice, Michelle. That brings me on to my next piece of advice. Download the Disney Cruise Line app. Everything runs off it. So if you're planning a Disney cruise, it's important to know that everything is handled digitally. There's no paper on board. So the best way to stay informed and maximize your experience is to download the app. From booking activities, viewing restaurant menus, and tracking excursions, to viewing daily programs and monitoring bills, almost everything can be done through the app. Make sure you have a good smartphone so you don't miss out on any of the fun.
I would prefer to leave my phone alone whilst I'm on holiday, but you do need it for pretty much everything.
Yep, unfortunately so. But if you leave your phone on airplane mode and don't have the Wi-Fi package, it'll stop you spending hours on Facebook.
Well, my kids are addicted to their phones. What else would you recommend?
Definitely make sure to check out the spa. Before my cruise, I had heard about some of the awesome offerings like massages and facials. But did you know there are even manicure, pedicure, and salon services available on board?
Absolutely. And for those on a tighter budget, there are also some amazing spa services available for quite a bit less. You can even purchase packages with multiple treatments or just get one or two treatments at a time. I bought a spa pass and had a relaxing afternoon away from the kids.
I think I could do with some me time. Sorry kids. What else do you think our listeners should be aware of before embarking on a Disney cruise?
Some people worry about getting lost on the ship. You'll find that navigating the decks on board a Disney cruise ship is remarkably easy and straightforward. Many eager cruisers choose to decorate their stateroom doors to make it easier for them to locate. On the port side of the vessel, you'll find helpful metal fish sculptures near each door pointing you in the direction of the rear of the ship. The starboard side features seahorse sculptures instead and carpets featuring star-shaped compasses with their points leading towards the front of the ship.
I did not know that. That's so clever.
Yes, Disney certainly think of everything. If you've been on another cruise before, certain entertainment and activities can be different than other typical cruises. You won't find a casino on board. They do offer bingo, which kids may even join with an accompanying adult. Additionally, you can't buy a drinks packages like you would on some other cruises. However, what may surprise you is that there are no enrichment programs offered, such as talks about the area being visited. When I've visited places like Alaska and Norway on other cruise lines, there's usually a local expert on board giving a talk.
What about the cabins? What should our listeners know about the cabins on board?
Well, firstly, Disney ships tend to have larger cabins compared to other premium ships, perfect for romantic getaways or family trips. Secondly, many of the cabins come with interconnecting doors, which can be great for families, but can make it noisy if you don't have kids. So, you may want to choose a cabin without this. Third, most of the cabins have split bathrooms, one with a toilet and basin and another with a bathtub with shower and basin. It's great for large families. However, due to the smaller size of these bathrooms, they may feel more cramped than usual. Fourth, the queen bed is fixed and cannot be separated into two singles like in other cruise lines. Finally, some cabins are designed for multiple occupancies and can sleep up to 4 people, so bear this in mind when making your selection. Also, try not to pick cabins on the decks with kids' clubs, as it may be very noisy during the day and night.
Wow, that was a lot of tips. I think our listeners have some really useful information to help them have the best Disney cruise possible. I know you've helped thousands of people book a Disney cruise, so it's great speaking with someone who knows their stuff.
Ben, you're making me blush. I love helping people set sail with Disney. So, did you get to meet any characters on your cruise?
You bet I did. That was one of my favorite parts. We got to meet Mickey, Minnie, Goofy, and Donald Duck. On your cruise, you'll find characters all around. From the sail away and end of cruise parties to deck parties. Take all the photos you want, either with your own camera or phone, or alternatively purchase professional photograph packages, though they can be costly, up to $20 per photo. But don't worry, many cruisers have said these packages are great value.
I love meeting the characters. I think it's one thing that separates Disney from anything else. But sometimes you want to be around just adults and have a bit of time away from the kids. If you're looking for an escape from the full-on Disney experience, then you'll be glad to know there's adult-only area, such as the pool deck with Signals Bar and Cove Cafe. To a gym spot, there's plenty of places just for adults. After 9 p.m., I love going to Fatham's Cabaret Lounge, Keys Cocktail Piano Bar, and O'Gill's Irish-themed pub. Plus, there are exclusive mixology sessions, champagne tastings, and adult cabaret entertainment.
I spent many nights in O'Gill's whilst the kids were off having fun. It was great to have that adult time.
Absolutely. That's one of the best things about a Disney cruise. There truly is something for everyone, regardless of age. Here at Rock the Boat, we're an independent cruise travel agency based here in the UK. Being independent means not only will we tell you about the good stuff, we'll also let you know about the bad too. Were there any downsides to your cruise?
Yes, a few, but not too many. One of my friends warned me in advance about tips. Be prepared, she said to me. I heard that crew members will keep pushing for good ratings and tips. I encountered this myself when towards the end of the cruise, I got a piece of paper which detailed how much auto gratuity had been taken. In my case, $14.50 per day. Then there were tear-off slips naming each of the key crew members with what their share would be. You put these in an envelope which they provide and hand them to the crew. But because it's formulaic, I felt like there was a lot of pressure on guests to leave extra tips. Not something I found particularly comfortable.
That's a good point. It can be tricky to know how much you should tip, and it depends on the service you receive. The daily auto gratuity is just a starting point. If you feel like someone deserves more than this, then of course, go ahead and give them an extra tip. But it's also important to remember that tipping should never be expected and should always be voluntary. In the States, tipping is everywhere. But here in the UK, not so much.
Yes, absolutely. I know some people prefer not to tip at all, which is totally their right. Any other downsides you can think of?
Another downside to Disney is how drinks are handled. Soft drinks, such as Coke, Sprite, and juices, are all included in the restaurants and on deck throughout the day. However, at the bar, it was a different story. You had to pay extra for your drinks. This annoyed me and several other guests, as they had assumed all drinks were included in the fare. They are, but you have to go up to the top deck to get them. I have a Disney Cruise Line cup and refill that throughout the day.
That's a good tip to remember, but I think we shouldn't end on the negatives. There are plenty of amazing things on a Disney cruise. What did you love the most?
I absolutely loved the Broadway-style shows. They were amazing. There are scenes from some of my favorite films, such as Frozen and The Lion King. These are spectacular performances with a huge cast of singers and dancers that will have you captivated from start to finish. And don't forget about the theater itself, which is decked out in lights, projections, and special effects. It's a real treat for the eyes.
Absolutely, Disney really knows how to make their performances the best in the business. And if you want something more low-key, there's always themed trivia nights or karaoke. As you can see, whatever your age, there are plenty of amazing things to do on a Disney cruise.
That's for sure. So, are you ready to set sail again?
I'm definitely ready. And now that you know the essential things you need to consider before going on your Disney cruise, so nothing can stop you, get packing your bags.
We hope you found this useful. And if you're thinking about going on a Disney cruise, come and chat with one of our UK-based cruise gurus. Get in touch using the link in the show notes or visit rocktheboat.travel. That's rock the boat, all one word, .travel. Well, until next time, happy sailing.